hear this, hold on. Transfer them over, switch them over to the violin line, let them listen to the violin line, get done. Hey, what'd you like best? Like making money. Great, Dan's gonna say that. I need to send you my website. Give them your website. When can you go to it? 9 o'clock? Great, call you at 9:17. 9:17, you call Mom. Hey Mom, what'd you like best? Still like the money. Great, it's your lucky day. Having a challenge party at my house Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Yeah, I want to be there. Absolutely. Great. This is where you're going to get the rest of the information, get your questions answered. And by the way, we've been friends for a long time. You might bring a bag of ice. I don't mind coming. So then you call your next friend, John. Repeat. Get to the end. John says yes. Hey, John, listen. We've been friends a long time. You might bring in a bag of ice. Hey, John, don't forget the ice, man. These milkshakes taste bad without ice. Don't forget the ice. Sally, don't forget the ice. Man, 32 people show up, they all got ice. How many of y'all know you want some cold milkshakes? Ice is cheap, it's $1.25 a bag. Nobody gets offended, everybody laughs. They pull up in the subdivision, they get out, they're like, wow. Everybody's got ice. Ice melts, we're gonna fill the landfill up, right? This is the way to get people committed to get them there. Make sense? Say yes? You got options, you got the byline, you got the videos on your website, Successful Magazine, Challenge Magazine, samples in the shape. Then you go over and make them a sample, right? We talked about that a minute ago. What about three-way calls, the challenge journal? There's plenty of things to use as tools, totally up to you. I don't care, only you care. Situational. You're in the grocery store, you run into John in the grocery store and say, hey John, listen, I just found out about Body by Body Challenge. You heard of it? No, hey, listen, you gotta watch this. Grab your iPhone and turn the video on. The video on your website, the pique your interest video, turn it on the hand of your phone, stand in the grocery store. What'd you like best? Great. Follow me in my car, let me get you a magazine. Is that 2 tools? Yes. Somebody just change the slide. We've got the slides here. Does that make sense? If we just say this, pick two of these tools, throw them in the funnel, think of the funnel, you're dumping your list into the funnel, you're going to put your list of tools leading to a challenge party. Out of that, you're going to have customers, you're going to have distributors, you're going to have non-interesteds, you're going to have, I need to think about it. Make sense? I shared with you what to do with each one of those, folks. Here's the tool belt, here's all the different things, here's pictures of the stuff that you can use. Do y'all notice when I'm talking, I'm walking? People say, man, you walk a lot. Well, motion creates emotion. If I stood in one spot and talked, y'all be like, man, that guy's boring. You've got to move. You've got to create emotion through movement. When you're on your telephone, be moving. Have confidence. Be excited. Well, Kyle, I can't have confidence. I just got in this thing today. Well, if you got in today, you're no more than your friends. When you call them, they're going to think Visalus is a merger between Viagra and Viagra. They're not even going to know, right? At least you know it's a milkshake. Have confidence. Use instructional statements. Don't ask, tell. I need you to go to my website. Handle objections without sitting there and trying to, compare notes. Here's what I like to do. Somebody says something, I go, hey, listen, I don't know. All I know is I was in Orlando. 3,000 people were there and they were flat excited. I had to walk through a sea of BMWs to get into the building. I don't know. All I know is I was in Orlando and there had to be 100 people up there that's lost more than 50 or lost 50 pounds, right? Always tell a story. I don't know. All I know is tell a story. Makes sense? Yes? Be a pearl diver. Don't get hung up on any one person. What do I mean? It's called the SW rule. Some will, some won't, some what? Next. Keep moving. I know you want it for them, but they've got to want it for themselves. Make sense? There isn't any one person out there that's going to make or break your business. There's not any one person that's going to make or break your business. Don't get hung up on anybody. It's not your job to close them. It's your job to expose them. What happens if the person no-shows? We've already talked about that. Go to their house. Prospect lives out of town. Here's a really cool thing to do. There is a daily challenge call. But go, if they live out of town, go online and have a challenge party with them. What do I mean? Have them go to overview.visalus.com with you on the phone and watch Nick and Ashley on the computer. Does that make sense? Why with you on the phone? Because if you're on the phone, they're watching. If you hear Nick stop talking, they quit watching. Y'all see how that works? I can't move my prospect forward. I've done everything. I can't get them to move. Well, Need to do a three-way. Here's you, here's the prospect, the person you're three-waying is the expert. This is your upline. Why are they the expert? Because you told the prospect they're the expert. The prospect trusts you. You're going to edify your upline. What do I mean by edify? This is promote. Promote, edify is the same thing. You're going to uplift the person you're putting on the phone with. 4 easy ways to do this, 4 things to say. If I'm edifying Nick, I say, listen, Nick loves having fun, he loves helping people, he's making the money, and he's got the facts. I just touched on all 4 personality traits in our country today. Now I'm going to put Nick on the phone, and they're going to listen to what he has to say. If you go, hey, listen, my buddy Nick, he's a cool dude. Be getting for you. They don't want to hear what Nick's got to say. They don't know nothing about what Nick is, right? You've got to let them know. You ain't got to tell them that Nick makes $10 million a year, or $100 million a year, or whatever. You don't have to tell them nothing crazy. Just say, listen, he loves having fun, he loves helping people, he's got the facts, and he's making the money. Now you've edified them, they're going to shut up and listen to what he's got to say because they respect him. By you edifying creates respect. Here's a pointer. Most of your upline work the way I do. Once you put me on the phone with a prospect, you've got to zip your lips. If your mouth opens, my phone hangs up. Y'all see how this works? Because you got me for a purpose. And it wasn't to listen to you talk, it was so that you can let me do the talking and put your prospect in. If there's silence, I do not need you to fill that silence. There's silence for a purpose. There's a game we play called the first one to speak loses. If you open your mouth, guess what? You lost. If I'm going down the road in my vehicle, which I normally am, I try to do it a little more sensible. I roll the window down, I hold the phone out so it sounds like static, and then I hang up. Schedule your pre-party right now. Why? Because you've got your challenge party coming up. Have your upline present. If you're sitting here, you're brand new, make sure you got your challenge party in the next 4 to 7 days. You need to do your pre-party within the next 24 hours. What's the pre-party? Where you're running through the two tools through the funnel, leading to a challenge party, or do it with your team. Do it with a whole team of people. It's a lot of fun, but you must do this. You can use Facebook, you can use the status post, the events, text messages, emails, and all this to support your efforts, but please don't think this is going to fill your party up. Your party's only going to be filled up by you physically looking at someone and talking with them or over the telephone. They're not going to come off of a text message or a Facebook post. Make sense? Say yes? Register for the next event. Right now you're at the regional event. What is the next event? National event. Where are we doing the national event at? Miami. Here's the deal. How many of y'all actually want to build a big business? Now, that's a lot of hands. I'm not talking about some little mediocre business. I'm talking about a big business. Who wants to build a big business? It is impossible to build a big business by skipping any single step in this scenario. You must plug into every local event that leads to the regional event, and the very next event is the national. If you're sitting in this room and you raised your hand that you want to build a big business, you need to fill out the application that you got in your hand for Miami, because I promise you this, 23 years in the industry, nobody's ever went to the top and stayed at the top of any company that ever missed events. People at the top of every company, including Visalus, they are there because they never miss anything. Some of y'all are like, yeah, but y'all don't miss nothing because y'all make all the money. You got your chicken before the egg. You see, we make all the money because we've never missed an event. Does that make sense? Say yes. Events multiply your business. Always have people from all 3 of your communities, legs, whatever y'all call them. We quit calling them legs because we discovered nobody wants to be up in your leg. But everybody wants to be part of a community. Have someone represent from each one of your 3. We work off events that stands for butts in the seat. People at the event will generate dollars. Why? They get belief, they get inspired, they get motivated, they leave there with their head on fire and their hiney catching, and they go build a big business. Make sense? Say yes? Here's the regional events to balance up. Y'all are in Orlando. You got Houston, Edmonton, Montreal, Charlotte, Philly, Vancouver, Chicago, Long Beach, California. Who do you know that's in these areas? Get on the phone, get your people there. Make sense? Say yes? Here's the vitality picture. I'm excited. This out, just like walking, looking at y'all. But how many of y'all know in Miami it's gonna be cool? You'll be like, man, I'm gonna be busy because you know I'm pace back. I'm gonna be like walking circles. This will be crazy. Your action determines your results. Your income's going to be determined by how many conversations you have per day. Make sense? Say yes? How many tools you give out? How much information you put in people's hands? How many people that you follow up with? How many challenge parties that you have per week? But Kyle, I don't have a bunch of challenge parties per week. Stay broke. If you want what we got to do, we did have a bunch of challenge parties. Set daily, weekly goals. Do something every single day to promote your business. Did you notice we said yours and we said business? It's your business. Treat it that way. Do something to promote it. Prioritize at least 60 to 90 minutes per day in your schedule to build your business. And absolutely 1,000% use a calendar. If you're not using a calendar, you're missing the boat. Here's a scale. It says here and it says green. Folks, if your dream is big enough, you will overcome all fear. I know some of y'all got in recently into the business and you got your list built, you went to start making phone calls, and you reached for the phone and it felt like it weighed 900 pounds. I know, I've been there. It's hard. At that moment, you've got to go back and think about your dream. Go back and think about why you're doing this. Because once you know why you're doing this, you'll be able to pick up that phone, you'll be able to make that call, and you won't sound crazy because you'll be confident because you're wanting to get where you've got to go. Makes sense? Say yes? Did y'all learn anything? Yeah. Will you apply it? Yeah. Will you go ambassador? Yeah. Big told me something. You're supposed to sound like you just went 5-star ambassador. How does that sound? Is I want each and every